Hello, everyone. My name is McCray, and I am the SNAP Ed Nutrition Educator for the EBR East Feliciana Parish, representing Southern University Ag Center. And today's topic is good carbs, bad carbs. Now, our bodies naturally need carbs to function. Carbohydrates are our body's main source of energy. They help fuel our brain, they help for our kidneys, they help for heart muscles, and the central nervous system. For an example, fiber is a carbohydrate that aids the digestion. So it helps us to feel fuller for a long period of time if you know about fiber. Also about with fiber, it helps keeps our cholesterol levels in check. Usually when a person is referencing good carbs and bad carbs, good carbs are referred to foods that contain high fiber amounts. So good carbs in our bodies take longer to be broken down, and it is used for disbursement of energy. They are also found in whole grain foods. So when you're in the grocery store and you want to focus on your good carbs, you want to make sure that you are choosing things that are in the whole grain or the whole wheat. So that's your whole grain breads, your whole grain cereals, your whole grain rices, and even whole grain flour. So also some vegetables and fruits can also be considered good carbs. Now, bad carbs are referred to foods that contain refined carbs. Now, when I say refined, I mean that the nutrients is taken out of this food and added things or added into the food to maybe make it sweeter or anything in that nature. But we don't want to do refined carbs. We want to stick to our whole grains, all right? And also with the bad carbs have low fiber amount, which is mainly your white flours and your white sugar. So that's your cakes, your cookies, your white bread, your white rice, and even some of the white cereals. So today I figured since we're doing bad carbs, good carbs, bad carbs, I want to show you how to make some nut clusters. So if you've ever had a nut cluster, you know that it is a sweet and salty mix. It is so good, and it's also good for if you have any type of sweet cravings. It's an awesome way to knock that out and be healthy. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on first. This recipe calls for not very many ingredients. This is also a good recipe that you can do with your kids at home or even as a family because it's not very messy, and they'll be able to kind of help you with preparing this little snack. So like I said before, we're making nut clusters, and I chose nuts and seeds that are low carb or good carbs. Now, you can use different types of nuts and seeds. If you've ever had a nut cluster, you know that you can put chocolate, caramel, whatever you want to do. But the lot that I'm teaching today, I want us to be healthy. I want us to live this healthy lifestyle. So I have good and low carb products. So we're going to be using walnuts, pecans, sunflower seeds, pink Himalayan salt, and 100% raw honey as a sweetener. So I want to go ahead and talk about pecans. Pecans are a awesome source of it helps us to lower our cholesterol level. I want to talk about the sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are an awesome way to boost your energy. Awesome way to boost your energy. And then we're going to move to walnuts. Walnuts is a healthy way to have a healthy gut. So it keeps us pretty regular, it keeps us flat, it keeps us just awesome all the way around. And then pink Himalayan salt. This is my all-time favorite thing to use in the kitchen in regards to keeping anything salty or using it for meats, pastas, or even seasoning. Pink Himalayan salt is one of the purest salts on earth. A fun fact about pink Himalayan salt is that they use it for salt therapy. So that's for people that have respiratory issues or respiratory diseases. They typically use pink Himalayan salt, and it is all around just good around the border. And then we're going to be using 100% raw honey, so straight from the beehive, super duper good. If you know about honey, you know that it's good for your skin as a mask, and it is also good to digest when you are making teas. It helps fight infection. So we're going to be using all these products to make these nut clusters. So let's hop right into it. All right, so I have my nuts already kind of combined together. I have my sunflower seeds, my walnuts, and my pecans. I'm going to pour it into my mixing bowl. And one thing I want to tell you about the pecans and the walnuts, you can purchase them whole or you can purchase them crushed or chopped. But my suggestion is to purchase them chopped, and then you can kind of use a knife to proportion them however you want to. I did it as to where some are kind of small, some are kind of big, because when you're making a cluster, you still want it small enough to stick, but big enough to have that crunch effect if you're big on textures. I know I am. I like my nut clusters kind of crunchy, so I have some big and some small. And then we're going to be using honey. So let's go back to the seeds and the nuts. So I have a half a cup of each of nuts and a half a cup of the seeds. So that's a half a cup of pecans, a half a cup of the sunflower seeds, and the half a cup of walnuts. All right. And I have 4 tablespoons of honey in this jar. Now, honey is a thick substance. So one tip that I will give people if you need it is to add a little bit of warm water to loosen your honey when you're pouring it onto your nuts, because if it's not loose enough, it won't tack to all the nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it, and I did add a tiny, tiny bit of water, warm water that is. All right. I'm going to use a little spoon just to kind of scrape the remains out. And the key to mixing this, it smells so good, guys. All right, so the key to mixing this up is to make sure that the honey is touching all of your pecans, all of your walnuts, and all of your sunflower seeds. All right, I don't know if you can kind of see how it's kind of sticking together. It's going to be a good substance. This recipe should make about 12 clusters, give or take. All right, so I think, for my better judgment, that all the everything is kind of sticking together pretty well. I use a teaspoon to measure my clusters, and I'm going to be using a cookie cutter sheet and also wax paper. So when you are doing these clusters, I want to make sure that you know we have a little bit of seeds left at the bottom. Sorry about that. All right, so I do want you to know that when you are making these nut clusters, to use anything that's non-stick or wax paper, because if you are using foil paper or anything that is not non-stick, it can typically stick to the bottom of the paper, and it just won't be good to use. So make sure we're using non-stick. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it. And as I'm putting this on the cookie sheet, you'll notice that some of the clusters are they're going to kind of fall apart a little bit, but just kind of mush it together, form it to however you want to form it. Now, as I'm doing this, I do want to let you know, after I put this on my wax paper and my cookie cutter sheet, I want you to make sure that you are preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to place these clusters into the oven for 8 minutes, okay? And during these 8 minutes, what's going to happen is your honey is going to melt. It's going to maneuver all through these nuts and these seeds, and it's just going to be a heavenly smell in your kitchen and in your house, okay? So for 8 minutes, you're going to put it in the oven. After the 8 minutes, you're going to take it out. They are not ready. You have to let them cool down, all right? And the reason why you have to let them cool down is because it's so hot. Like I said, the honey has melted. They are still going to be kind of soft. Now, for me, I like my nut clusters kind of hard and crunchy. Some people like them chewy and soft. It depends on how you like them, but you want to make sure that you are taking them out of the oven and placing them on either on the countertop or in the refrigerator, okay? And you can do this for about 10 to 15 minutes. As I stated before, those 10 to 15 minutes can depend on your texture preference. If you like them soft and chewy, you can only do like 10 minutes. If you like them hard and crunchy, like how I like them, you can do about 15 minutes. One thing I do want to tell you, it was something that I kind of messed up with when I first started making these clusters. I put it in the freezer. All right, and I put it in the freezer because I was being lazy. I wanted it to hurry up and get done so I can go about my day. Not good, okay? Because if you put it in the freezer and although you have a nonstick pan or nonstick wax paper, it still can stick. Okay, so I repeat, do not put it in the freezer. Let it take its course, put it in the refrigerator or on the countertop. All right, and guys, I think this is making exactly 12. This is perfect. And this is also good for like going to work out, healthy eating on the go. You can make this literally the night before and have this in a plastic bag. I can't even eat 12 clusters. So this is also good for almost like a meal prep snack. You can have it for multiple days. It depends on how much you eat. But either way it go, you'll be good to go. So I'm putting them in little bitty chunks. And they are so cute. I kind of want to pick it up so you can see it, but I don't want them to fall. Ooh, they may fall. almost looks like little cookies. All right, so they are nut clusters, tiny little nut clusters, and it made exactly 12. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the oven for 8 minutes, like I stated, on 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is pretty much the end of my live. I hope you guys have enjoyed good carbs, bad carbs. I hope you use this in your everyday life. And even in the grocery store, when you're thinking about carbs and you're thinking about bad and good carbs, you're making sure that you're picking up items that have that whole grain and whole wheat and not that refined. Okay, once again, my name is Sierra McCray. I am the SNAP Ed Nutrition Educator for the EBR East Feliciana Parish, representing Southern University Ag Center. And after this live, please do me a favor and complete that post survey that is going to be linked to the Facebook account. Please, please, please fill out the post survey that is going to be on the Facebook account. Thank you.